I've been pretty fortunate to be able to go to a lot of cool historic places. And every once in a while, you go to a place that has so much gravity and so much weight that it just overwhelms you. And I happen to be at one of those places today. This is Omaha Beach. So Omaha Beach has the reputation of being the spot where some of the most violent conflict and fighting took place on D-Day. This sector that I'm in right now, the beach is divided up into technically 4 different sectors. So there's Fox, Easy, Dog, and then at the far end, Charlie. Well, Fox and Easy are in the 1st Infantry Division sector. We'll get to the 29th Infantry Division sector of Dog later. And this spot right here that I'm at is at Fox Red. So what we're looking at out in front of me is the Fox sector of Omaha Beach. And on D-Day, ships landed at about 6:30 in the morning. At least that's whenever they were scheduled to. And there was all kinds of confusion. A lot of units were way off target. And included in that was a mixed group of the 16th Infantry Regiment that was attached to the 1st Infantry Division and the 116th Infantry Regiment, which was with the 29th Infantry Division but attached to the 1st for D-Day. Well, companies I and L landed way too far to the east and also landed late. They were supposed to have armor support, but most of the armor ended up sinking in the channel, and a few managed to make it. So you can imagine these guys landing and then having to traverse this whole section of beach. Now, there was one guy by the name of Lieutenant Jimmy Monteith. I think I'm saying that name right, Monteith. He landed along with his group. Everybody was all mixed up and landed in the wrong spot. It turned out to be fortunate because they had the protection of these bluffs from a German resistance nest that's up on top of the hill that we'll take a look at later. So Monteith makes it to this bluff and then makes his way down the beach with his men. A lot of them had been cut down on the beach. And what they were looking for was a draw called the F1 draw that was going to give them access to the interior of the German defenses. I'm standing here at the water's edge, just trying to imagine what this must have been like. Absolutely can't do it. Unbelievable. Now, once Monteith and his men made it on the beach, they did the same thing that a lot of people did here on D-Day. They landed in the wrong spot, and they improvised. So Monteith was up and down the beach. He was organizing his men, putting together, whoever was left. The few tanks that did make it on the beach, he was organizing fire for them, telling them where to go, going through minefields. I mean, the guy was just all over the place. And up on top of this hill, there was an element of German soldiers that were manning mortars and machine guns and artillery, and they were covering the far east end of the beach here. So Monteith grabbed some guys, and they started making their way right up through here in something called the F1 draw to take out this nest of German soldiers that was raking the beach with fire. Okay, well, this is the upper end, or the top, of the F1 draw. And over here on the far eastern edge of Omaha Beach is Widerstand 60. This is a Widerstand nest. It can also be translated resistance nest or Strongpoint, and these are just the positions that the Germans took up where they would have machine gun nests and mortars and gun emplacements and things like that. So this is the one on the easternmost edge of Omaha Beach, and Monteith and his men would have approached up that draw that we just saw and then attacked from the south or from the rear. So we're going to go in here and try and find some of these gun emplacements and Tobruks from Widerstand 60. Okay, so here we are approaching the Widerstand 60, and yeah, right off the bat you can really see why they set up a resistance nest here, because oh my gosh, that offers quite the commanding view of the beach. So here we got a few mortar Tobruks that are set up, and you can still see the remnants of the trenches that they used to go back and forth between these places. Yeah, that's definitely a mortar Tobruk. You can tell from that little platform in there. These would also be used as machine gun nests, but this particular one is for a mortar. We're actually going to get down in here. I can't come all the way to Omaha Beach and have a mortar Tobruk and not go in it. I'll probably slip and fall. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so you see a little door here, or a little room rather, for ammunition storage. And then come up here. That's where the mortar would have sat. Also a place where you could keep ammunition or mortar rounds on hand. And then, yeah, here you go. Okay, so we're just making our way through the trenches now. So amazing to be here. Wow. Oh, son of a gun. Old JD about took a spill there. It is super slick and muddy. And then, yeah, here's the entrance to the other Tobruk. Now, let me come up here and we can get another view from the top. So whenever you're standing here, I talked about the F1 draw. Okay, so that's going to be just right here over the lip of this bluff. So these 80mm mortars that the Germans had were designed to catch any of these troops that were trying to advance on their position. Pretty crazy. And here on the back side of this resistance nest, here's another Tobruk. And I think that this one might have had a French tank turret attached to it. So if you look down in here, it doesn't have that mortar stand like the other two did. So I think this is where the French tank turret was. And then over on the other side, kind of down towards the draw a little bit more, they also had a 75mm gun there too.
Your past won't leave. Your past won't leave. It'll stay with them like it stays with me. You won't break free. You won't break free. 'Cause death is gonna get you like it's gonna get me.
That was pretty darn cool. So Strongpoint 60, or Widerstand 60, ended up being the very first strong point to fall on D-Day, thanks to the leadership of Jimmy Monteith and the bravery of the other men that were with him. Now, unfortunately, the Germans launched a counterattack mid-morning and tried to retake this position, and Monteith was crossing an open position and was shot and killed. If I understand correctly, that happened right here. So he was one of the many who gave his life right here in Normandy on D-Day. And for his actions and for his leadership under fire, Monteith was awarded the Medal of Honor. So we'll talk a little bit more about that at another time though. But as for now, that was Widerstand 60.